Now, I don't want to break the door, because we may, at one point in an emergency, have to go through that door in order to avoid something later. And if it's broken, we'll have effectively stranded ourselves. Hello, zombie. Yep, called that. Hold on. Yep, that's looking good. I get this nagging feeling that I've forgotten something, even though I know I haven't. There's one good thing about the zombies that are out here. If you take them out, they don't reanimate as Crimson Heads. Right. Without the nose. Lovely. So that means you go here. And the coffin is down. That's good. Make sure we have this equipped. Very. He ain't dead yet. No, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm definitely dead. And that's why I saved before. That is literally why I saved before we ended up going to face that guy. Well, no. Damn it. The joys of not saving. I should have saved before I fought him, and I certainly shouldn't have gone in there on caution. I'm getting careless. I'm getting really careless. Now I have to go fight Mr. Snake again. Oh, we'll just hurry along and do it the easy way. It's fine. Richard will help us, I'm sure. This is why in my usual runs I save every 3 seconds. Because that way, if something goes wrong, we can quite easily just come around again. Things shouldn't go this ridiculously when I'm playing as Chris, purely because he has more effective escape items. Well, he has a more effective escape item in the flash grenades. Or hand grenades, sorry. And gonna have to use that because I'm gonna need 2 slots for both the assault shotgun and the other death mask. Now, like I said, if I hadn't so carelessly used my escape items, then we wouldn't have this problem. Because I'd have had something to counter him then when he tried to grab me. Unlike the previous part, which was essentially Hell and Chaos, we should. That is the only downside to playing as Jill. Her lack of health really puts her in a detrimental position. And I've got to be honest, I don't think that her additional health is worth the trade-off of... Oh, sorry, did I say her additional health? What I mean to say is her additional...
Payback time!
Inventory slots are not... And I'm poisoned again. Yep. Her additional inventory slots are not worth the trade-off. And we're gonna die if we keep getting bitten like that. Yeah, it's not worth the trade-off of having such low health.
Thanks.
Richard!
Like... And Richard's been nommed. For reference, if they do Resident Evil 3 Remake, which everyone's hoping they will now that 2 Remake has been such a colossal success. That I really hope Jill does not have extremely...
Oh, am I poisoned?
Yes, you are. Because I'm playing like an idiot today. Oh, yes, yes. I really hope when it comes to Resident Evil 3 Remake, if it happens, there's rumours that it is happening. Like, the Raw team have basically done videos covering the potential leaks in which it was apparently said that it's in development, though there is a worrying thing going around that the game is essentially been outsourced, which is mildly concerning in my opinion. In most cases, I trust Capcom to do a decent job on Capcom's games. every time they outsource something, at least this is purely a fan's perspective. So, well, not every time, that's maybe too stark a generalization. Most times when Capcom outsources, I feel like the product is slightly subpar. Then again, the one prominent time I'm thinking of when they outsourced to somebody else was Operation Raccoon City, and do we talk about that game? Do we talk about Operation Raccoon City? Does anybody want to? Like, it exists. That's what we can say about it. Operation Raccoon City exists. Now, in its defense, the Special Forces team missions were at least passable. You know what? We're not going to make the same mistake twice. Hold on. Where's the serum? There it is. That means we need to pick up the wind crest and everything all over again. Damn it. We'll go and do that, and then we'll come back and save. That shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes, in theory. Let me go put the ink ribbon away. But yeah, Operation Raccoon City exists, and in its defense, as I was trying to say before I got sidetracked, the Special Forces missions were at least passable. The USS missions were not. It tells you something, doesn't it? Where... Oh, it tells you something when you're playing an alternate universe spin-off game in the Resident Evil universe, a what-if scenario in the Raccoon City outbreak, and the Special Forces team, was it Echo 6 or something, that was sent in to essentially, you know, find out what Umbrella had been doing, and also at later chapters help survivors. Yeah. Yeah, was essentially more interesting than the Umbrella side of the campaign. Like, the only side of that entire campaign that felt truly engaging was... Well, there's no two ways about it. It was the chapter involving... Well, it was literally the very beginning, where you've got Hunk with you, and he turns up and is Hunk on screen for about 3 minutes and just messes up people's stuff. And you know, yeah, we haven't aggroed him to the point where he's moving yet, which is fine. How come when you play Operation Raccoon City at the beginning, there's loads of Umbrella Security Service mercs everywhere? Like, and they're in Birkin's lab, and it's essentially a cover shooter. The Umbrella Security Service, Umbrella's mercenary army, weren't even deployed in Raccoon City until like 3 days before the end of the outbreak. and they were essentially used as glorified combat testers. Right, we got enough inventory slots to get everything? Yes, we do. So yeah, the first thing we will do, once we've got the Wind Crest and picked up the additional healing items that we need, is, well, save before we fight Mr. Crimson Head. Yeah. The Umbrella Security Service, aka the Mercs, was sent in right near the end. And were essentially just glorified bait. So that, you know, Umbrella could gather tactical data on the performance of the T-Virus. What were they doing? Defending William Birkin's lab in droves. Like, in their dozens. In a very, very organised and, you know, tip-top fashion. It's just one of those things in the lore that makes no... Well, let's be honest. I think we can borderline disregard lore completely when it comes to Operation Raccoon City, because it certainly plays loose with the Resident Evil canon. Like, in one ending, you end up having to actively pursue Leon and Claire, and the potential ending to that scenario, well, one of the two, completely destroys the canon storyline. Because then Code Veronica and Resident Evil 4 wouldn't be able to happen at all. Not yet, because there's a green herb down the side of the bed. This is essentially the healing room. Right. Now we can do this. And just to be on the safe side, do you know what else we're going to do? First aid spray was inside. Lovely. I know one last place, at least in the current sections of the mansion that we've been in, where I'll be able to get a self-defense item. Which will come in handy if that exceedingly angry Crimson Head decides to, shall we say, bother us again with his Crimson Head antics. I mean, have any of the handful of you that watch this played Operation Raccoon City? Like, I'm curious. I can't be the only one. Like, I know it wasn't as absolutely reviled as Umbrella Corps. Like, I know it was polarizing to the point where it legitimately annoyed and alienated some of these series' long-term fans. Like, there were some who looked at it and they were saying, did Capcom seriously do this? Is this real and not some kind of horrific practical joke at the expense of the fandom? Because hold on. Yeah. Because I hope it's not. And lo and behold, it was real. Yes, Umbrella Corps was real. And I don't think any Resident Evil game has been looked upon so negatively in comparison. Like, in an odd way, even Resident Evil Gaiden on the Gaiden, however you want to pronounce it, on the Game Boy Color has a small cult following purely for the fact. No, whoa, 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 whoa. Something else new on this playthrough. I've never had him walk through the door and come at me like that while I'm still on screen. He has always done it when I have been off screen. Right, now there's one last thing we're going to do before we go and put in the death masks and fight that exceedingly angry Crimson Head. Now, I have to be sure to take him out before he gets too near. Because otherwise it defeats the whole object of picking up the dagger to begin with. Go back over there, fella. Stay there. It's fine. Yeah, there's been a few things in this run that have only ever happened to me while playing this specific run. Having a zombie bite my feet, only on this run. Finding out that zombies have invulnerability frames when they first start getting up, only on this run. And having that zombie burst through the door while I was still on screen, only on this run. Well, I can certainly say this has been an eventful session when it comes to Resident Evil. Wrong mask. What do you mean it's... What do you mean it's not necessary to use it right now? I'm facing the right mask. Do I have to physically look at the mask to see which one it is? Right. Don't let him close the gap too quickly. That should not have killed me like it did the first time. Yes, some additional shotgun rounds. There's a button here, and there's something else here. Stone and metal object. Alright. Original shotgun's empty. Yeah, instead of trying to do something stupid, I didn't I should have realized, but I didn't the first time we fought him earlier, that the grenade launcher has such limited range. Then again, he is stood literally halfway across the room, so that would be a fair counter-argument to my stupidity. Right. Shall we sort through our inventory before we leave the mansion? That sounds like a good idea to me. In fact, it sounds like an exceedingly good idea. Right. Closest inventory box. Gonna be that one over there. As soon as we've got the inventory sorted out, we'll get out of here. I mean, I was just thinking, and don't get me wrong, the additional inventory slots that Jill has can be a godsend, especially if you're a speedrunner. But I don't speedrun this game. Like, there's only pretty much one of the Resident Evil games that I speedrun, and that's the original 2. The original Resident Evil 2, I'm not carcinogen levels of speedrunning. I don't think there are many people that are carcinogen levels of speedrunning. Like, I've watched that guy speedrun when he's gone to Good Games Done Quick, and he's pretty unbelievable. Like, put those away so we've got some reserves. That should do. And yep. Looking good. Apologies. But yeah, I'm glad to see that a few of you are still watching this and enjoying it. I will keep putting it up so long as people are willing to watch it and happy to watch it, you know? But yeah, as I was saying, I think there are very few people out there that match Carcinogen's level of Resident Evil speedrunning prowess. Like, the guy is something else. I've been watching some of his speedruns and some of his no damage runs of Resident Evil 2 Remake. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Insane in a good way. Like, I can see why the guy has been able to make a serious job for himself out of, you know, speedrunning and live streaming, because he does it so well. And like I said, I only speedrun one of the games, and his personal best, which I think on the original Resident Evil 2 isn't Carsey's personal best, like possibly like an hour and 10 minutes, probably less than that, and that cleaves about 25 minutes to half an hour off my very best time that I only ever managed to achieve once. So, right, there's going to be a few in here, so we'll have to be careful. Decap. The combat shotgun has a higher decap rate as well, which is good. Oh no, dogs. No, no dogs. We don't need this, dogs. Go on. Be gone with ye. Be gone. Oh wow, there's a lot of gear. I'm gonna need those. You know, we might be at the point now where we can actually just put the handgun away for a while. Like, we're not going to be using it again anytime soon. That much is certain. Right. North Valley of Destruction, South Cave of Hatred, Summit of Madness, Path of Revenge. North Valley of Destruction, so yeah. Right. So
Barry?
Monster! James! Gun! Ineffective! It's it! Stay away! Forest outside mansion! Stay! Hey!
that sounds like very apt advice. Sorry. Screen just kinda got me a bit there. Right, so we need to make it so that the two dogs are facing each other. A statue with red eyes. The inscription reads, "The war cry of revenge." Right, so we need to get the red weather vane, which is further up. We'll check the corresponding signpost as well. So we need to get this first dog statue facing west. And then, oh wait, isn't it so that the dogs are essentially, is it facing toward each other or facing away from each other? It looks like facing away from each other. So what about this dog? Statue with blue eyes. The inscription reads, "The last gasps of destruction." So I assume that's going to be east. We'll check. If they need to be facing away from each other, then one needs to be facing west while the other is facing east. So no, it needs to be facing north. I do apologize. Right. Northward it is. Oh. Keep getting caught on things. Right. I mean, I love tank controls, but, you know, there's no denying that sometimes they can be a bit hard to well, no, they're not hard to steer, but you occasionally get caught on things, don't you, and it can be a bit wonky. Yep, the dogs need to face away from each other. Right. So there's that done. Be very slow. Don't bother any of the crows and they won't bother you. When the wind sweeps across the earth, the stars will shine in the heavens. Right. Get this done. Move the star crest, and I believe that's the sun crest. Yep. So we just need to extend the backs of these crests. You press it. This is a very simple puzzle to get the Magnum, you know. Right. Alrighty. We'll put the last of the crests in here. That gives us the Magnum. A gun has been placed neatly inside. Will you take the Magnum revolver? Most powerful gun in the game? Yes, I think so, somehow. Oh no, we aggroed them. We aggroed the crows. That's not good. It's not good at all. Avoid them. Avoid them, they are. Hello there. Whoever that was sounds like they've had one heck of a rough night. Right. Are there items around the house to pick up? Oh, this lovely little shack here. Faint light shines through the crack. Maybe it is a sign of life. I wouldn't like to gamble on that, but hey. Alright. Hold on, is that a map on the wall? It is. Bingo. There's a save room here. Well, it essentially doubles as a save room. We won't save just yet. Well, that's not good, is it? And I'd say that's even worse. Oh dear, we may have cornered ourselves. Yeah. Good chance we... Yeah, we've cornered ourselves. Good. Aggroed her off the edge. That's fine. I didn't want to have to use the ammo because, you know, guns absolutely ineffective. Just like Barry said. Well, not... yeah. He said guns ineffective. So, it was admittedly not worth wasting combat shotgun blasts and a grenade round on her. But it aggroed her to the point where she jumped off the edge to pursue us. So, give me a moment. Sorry, all the fixed camera angles are kind of muddling me slightly here. Now we just need to head back. Well, if we hadn't essentially wandered off into a dead end. We've gone back the way we came. Bad habit of going around in circles here. It all looks very similar. Might as well put that combat shotgun to the test. Effective. Very effective. Right. I'd say that is, I wouldn't call it a rousing success, but... keep backing myself into corners. That kind of thing. You know... We would have died a lot less on this run, and it would have been a lot shorter thus far if I'd have been A, less reckless, and B, concentrated more on specifics, such as don't go that way in this area or you'll get cornered, or maybe you should have healed a bit more and taken a bigger weapon with you when facing this enemy, and my personal favourite, maybe you shouldn't have fired that round, or fired that grenade round at the Super Crimson Head, which missed, allowing him time to close in and bite you while you were on caution with no defense item.
This is Brad. If you can hear me, just give me a sign. Anything.
Jill to Brad, can you hear me? Shit, it's broken.
Doges. Not this again. Get off. Get off. Get off. I am not been mobbed by dogs. You can hear the sound of waterfall in the distance. Yep. Right. Let's push ahead. Hello, Mr. Crow. How are you? Oh, he apparently doesn't like me loitering there. I'll move ahead, shall I? Because the last thing we want to do is bother him. He was just sat there chilling on his little bit of wall or podium or whatever he was sat on, and then I came along. Big nosy human, and just aggravated him. Snakes! More snakes. Hello, snake. Right. And now, after what could only be described as a couple of hours of abstract chaos, we'll also... well, we'll reorganize the inventory first. At last. I feel genuinely comforted by the lovely sound of the save room. Alright, grenade launcher's going away for a bit. Actually, no, you can stay out. Magnum's going away for a bit. Crank's going away too. Do I want to put it near the top or the bottom? Put it up top. Put that F8 away. We got enough of these to last us forever. Yeah, I'd say that's looking good. Oh look, a stun gun battery, don't waste it. Ah, good. Might be a good idea to refill the fuel canteen while we're here. Plenty of kerosene. Yep. You'll only get 2 full refills out of most fuel canteens. Still plenty. About half the kerosene remains. So yeah, you'll only get 2 full refills out of each one. I'm just going to quickly wander out here for a minute. Grab a couple of those blue herbs because we might need them for later. And then I'm going to drop a save and call it a day for this. And then I'm going to get to editing so that you guys can, well, sit there right now as you are and watch me fail horrendously at Resident Evil 1 Remake. Yeah. You see, if I'd have played it like I normally would, I would have been overly cautious. Wandered around, if you'd have seen me playing it like I normally do, as opposed to how I do when I play through things, where I tend to, you know, be a lot more reckless and space out my saves, you would have seen me save every 2 minutes, essentially. Like, I would have saved and saved and saved every single time I'd have picked up a key item and taken a key item to something. So you would have just seen me looping, or every time I loop round to a save room, save, go back out, save, do something else, save. I would have been overly stacked up on equipment, and I would have also been overly cautious to the point of... I don't think there's such a word as too cautious when it comes to Resident Evil, but I would have been overly cautious to the point where I'd have been carrying around tons of reserve healing items and having to backtrack every 2 seconds because I'd have had to put things away to clear inventory slots in order to get items to progress the game, more so than I have been doing now. And I also would have just been blowing everything away that gets in our path. Like I said, overly cautious, as opposed to this run where, you know, I've been a lot more hands-on. I've been less cautious in terms of carrying healing items around with me, and I've taken a lot of time between every single save. So, yeah. I'm going to be a lot more cautious when it comes to Chris's playthrough. Don't worry, I will be not massively like I usually am when I play this game, but I will be somewhat more cautious, and Chris's larger health pool should preserve us somewhat, though there might be elements of backtracking considering his limited inventory space. Anyway, we will drop a save, and I will see you in the next part. See, if I'd have died at any point there, I would have had to have gone all the way back to fighting the snake again. All the way back. And I'm sure that would have driven some of you mad. Because, yeah, I need to be a bit more cautious in the preceding parts so that we don't have any more chaos happening. Anyway, that's it for this part. I mean, it's been 2 parts for you guys, technically. So, I digress. Possibly even 3, depending on how I decided to space this out. But yeah, I'll call an end to playing for now, and I'll be coming back to it soon for some more. So, thanks again, and I will see you soon for the next part. Take care of yourself, guys and girls, and yeah, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm more than happy to share my love of Resident Evil with others. So, thanks again. Bye-bye. And take care. See you next time.